It's like when they were making this machine, they thought of every single thing to make it the best. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Patrice, and today I want to send a thank you to eufyMake for sending me their 3D texture UV printer for me to test it out and review. This was actually an honor for me to be able to test this machine out. Y'all, I am overly impressed with this machine. I cannot wait to show you all the things that it can do. It is a UV printer. However, it can also print textured images onto different materials you may have on UV stickers. In addition, a rotary attachment comes with it, as well as you will have the ability to print UV DTF stickers. The way this machine operates is that it's using a special ink, UV ink, and there's also the UV lamp that cures it. So when it comes out of the machine, it is dry. It is dry, it is not wet, it is usable at that point. Y'all, let's hurry up, let's get into this machine, because I promise you, you are going to be as impressed as I am. All right, y'all, there are so many possibilities with this machine. It prints over 11 by 16 inches, and it is super budget friendly, coming in at under $2,000, which is great. There's hassle-free maintenance with this machine, and in the future, they're going to be adding a roll to film option so that you'll be able to print even longer with this machine. This machine was super easy to set up. It is super lightweight. I did not need any help with other printers like this. I've needed lots of help just to get it out of the crate and to also get it set up in its permanent location. There are so many possibilities. I cannot wait for you guys to see everything that we're going to be unboxing today. Okay, y'all, so here's what's in the box: the UV printer, the standard flatbed, an adhesive mat, a quick start guide, UV protective goggles, power adapter, power cables, hex key, free substrates, air filter, the UV ink cartridges, a cleaning cartridge, and well, that's all here in the ink and cleaning cartridge kit. But this is pretty cool looking. So there are other things that we need to remove, but we're going to grab the quick start guide before we touch anything on the printer. It looks like there's some other tabs, kind of like how when there is tape on certain parts. Back here, this is where we're going to be putting our ink. Okay, also we're going to start with this box. And this looks like this may be the mat and the flatbed. Let's check and see. I'm just going to open it up. Yep. All right, so here's that quick start guide that we need. So we're going to keep this handy and just follow all the steps to get started. This looks like this is the adhesive mat. So when you're putting your items into the printer and you're placing it on this mat, it'll stick and it won't shift as it's going through the machine. And this is the flatbed. All right, so this is the flatbed. The back of the flatbed looks like this. This kind of slides, probably to help make it mobile. I shouldn't have snapped it so much. And this is what the front looks like. All right, before we get to those boxes, let's get the printer set up. So there are a few things that we need to do, and I'm just going to follow the steps of what this says to do. All right, guys, so the first thing we're going to do is to remove the tape from the printer. So you want to check the sides and also the back of the printer and remove any tape that is there prior to plugging the printer and starting it or opening anything up. So that's what I'm doing here, removing all the tape. All right, so it says to lift the front cover. This is the top. I don't know how to lift the top. Oh, right here. So you're going to press and slide this up. So that's the front part. We're going to press this, and then it slides up. And then we need to, so there's a camera underneath here, and we need to remove the foam from in there. We're going to put this right back on. And then we're going to remove the foam and packaging from inside. It says do not remove before printing, but we're going to see. And this is an accessory box. Alright, it looks like we have something else here. Maybe for packaging. And then we have even more foam there. I'm just going to take all of that out. Alright, so let's see what's all in here. These are all of the accessories. So in this box, we have a few essentials. We have our power adapter. We also have a hex key that we'll need. We have these blanks, and these are just ceramic magnets, like refrigerator magnets that you can print on top of. They also included a pair of UV protective shades for us, and also a filter for us to add this onto our printer. So we'll get ready to begin setting up. All right, so we're going to get ready and plug this in. All right, so maybe the outlet is over on this side. And looks like maybe the power button too. All right, so we're gonna plug it in. All right guys, so the power button is right over on the left side. We're going to turn our machine on. All right guys, so, okay, it's on. So I pressed the button over on the side, but it is so quiet. It was so quiet at first, and I did not realize that it was even on. But it's on. I see the green light flashing up here. See, we have our light flashing. We saw a little bit of action on the inside. So it's on, but it is so quiet. It is super quiet. All right, guys. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get ready to place the ink inside of the printer. And these are the ink cartridges. They're all labeled. So we will know which slot to put everything in. And this is the cleaning cartridge. Okay. And inside of the box is a UV printer maintenance kit with ink cleaning solution. You have some other, maybe like a squeegee or so. You have some Q-tips in here. And you have some sheets, and cleaning sheets. All right. And then there is something else down here. Looks like more cleaning solution. All right, guys. So here we have the labeling where we need to place the ink cartridges. You have your cyan, magenta, yellow, black, and you have your white. And G, I guess, for gray. This ink is packaged really well. Even the ink is packaged really well. And you always want to make sure you protect your ink when using UV ink, because you don't want it exposed to any light. So I wouldn't necessarily operate this underneath a window. All right, so here we have the ink cartridge. We're going to open it up. Let me just look inside. And it's going to go this way. It should go this way because I see inside, I see where the other part to that is. Okay, so here we have it. It says cyan on there. There's something on the back, but we're going to leave that just like that. And then we're going to drop it inside. And then you want to hear it click. All right, we have a click. Now we're going to open up the other cartridges. Next, we're going to install the cleaning cartridge, and it says hands-free cleaning and clog reduction. So we're going to open this up and install it. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this cover. Inside of this cover, I went a little too fast and didn't record this part, but this sheet will be inside of the cover, and these red rubber protective tips will be on these nozzles. So you're going to remove that off, and we're going to get ready to place our jet cleaning cartridge in, and it does tell you like this side is up so that you'll know the proper orientation. And if you look here, those 3 nozzles will go into those openings. All right, so we're just going to fit that just like this, and I'll push it in, and it's in, and then I'm just going to replace that. Okay, the machine is sinking. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to do is place the air filter on, and this comes off, and the air filter will go there. All right, so everything is labeled really nicely. If you look here, it tells us like this is the side that's facing out, and we're going to place this inside. You just kind of have to like force it in a bit. There we go. All right, it's in, and we're going to place the cover back on and close it. And I think that's about it for our setup as far as getting the printer ready. The next thing we're going to do is we need to download the app. All right, guys, the next thing that we need to do is we need to download the app, and it's in the App Store. I'm just going to download it. To be quite honest, this has to be one of the best softwares that I've downloaded for any of these types of printers. You can also place this on your MacBook or PC. I love that. This software was super easy to use, and it has some graphics included as well. All right, guys, so I'm going to place this right back on top right here. That's where it came off originally. Maybe it was over this way. Maybe like this. All right, so we're going to leave this just like this because when I remove the packaging out, this slid out too, but this needs to say, it says do not remove before printing test. So we're going to leave that there. All right, so I'm doing a test version of the software, and so I'm going to select start, and this is it on the app. And I just need to select my Wi-Fi, and now it's getting ready to connect. Y'all, this is like super easy to set up. Now we're all green, and the device has been added to the account. All right, guys, we are literally doing everything from the phone. I do think that there's a connection that you can do to your PC, but we're going to be using our phone to get this done. I'm going to select start. So this has to be the easiest setup for me for a machine like this in forever. So the app is actually walking us through all of the steps. I love that this is super beginner friendly. The app will walk you through every single thing that you're doing. Right now, I just removed the back of the mat because that has adhesive on it and that will make it stick to the flatbed, because you want to make sure that it's nice and stable for when it's time for you to place any item on top. And so right now it's just initializing and getting prepared to create all the things. All right, guys, so I'm doing everything on the app, but you can also use your device. It took about 10 minutes to get all of this stuff done, but this must be done prior to you using your machine. As you see, it did a print test and all of the print heads look good. In addition, it is calibrating the camera because you will be able to see on the flatbed and place your designs appropriately on your different materials, which I love that about this machine. So we're just going to continue to set everything up and begin using our new UV printer. Now that everything is done, it's time for us to use our machine. And to get started, we are just going to remove that paper on top to reveal the sticky adhesive of the mat. And this particular part that we're using, this is the mini flathead, which also comes in handy when you have smaller items to make. All right, guys, I can't talk about this software enough. Super duper easy to use, whether you're using it on a tablet or your phone or on the computer. So right now we're going to be using it from the phone so I can show you guys just how easy it is. And I placed the magnet on top, and you want to do this every time you're placing new materials onto the mat. Once you have it on the mat, you're going to do a snapshot and it'll give you a clear picture of what your mat looks like. You will then take the design and then you will align it with your blank. And you can maximize the screen so that you can see it a little bit more so that you can align it perfectly, especially if you want to get full coverage, and you can also resize it. Now, I'm more of a computer girl and I like to do this type of stuff on the computer. I just feel like it's a lot easier. But if you have a stylus or something like that, you may be able to do this a lot easier. All right, so once you have it set, all you're going to do is head back over to the machine and you're going to click start on the machine. Once you do that, then it'll start to initialize and it is going to begin printing. Now remember, I like to keep everything closed because the UV light is curing that ink as it comes out. But this is looking so good, y'all. It's looking amazing. I kind of overdid it, but that's what we have. Let's take it out. I don't know if you guys can tell how textured it is, but it's textured. You can touch it as soon as it comes out. So look at that. That is beautiful. And the total time to print this was 19 minutes and 26 seconds. All right, guys, so here are some other goodies that I got. They must have known that I was going to ruin the standard adhesive mat, so I have a pack of 5, so you can get extras. I also have, I think these are some blanks, like art painting. This is like another attachment. Oh, if I want to print on that, so we'll try this out. We have a few things that we can try out. I also have wood wall art, a 5-pack of wood wall art. And these are just some canvases that we're going to print on. Also sent me some, they also sent metal wall art. They sent a lot of stuff, y'all, to try out. Wow, this is a lot. So they sent like metal frames for me to try out and print on too. So it's like they have a magnet on the back, they're magnetic. These are really nice blanks, like super nice blanks. We also have some ceramic coasters, a 10-pack case of ceramic coasters, just white ceramic coasters, same material as the refrigeration or the refrigerator magnets. They sent more ceramic magnets. Just like the ones that came inside of the printer box. Wow. With all this stuff, you want to make sure you measure it so that you have the exact measurements for it. I have more ceramic magnets, the same ones. We have a lot of stuff, y'all. They sent a mini UV DTF film So this is, I can do UV DTF with this machine as well. So they sent film A for it, and I should have film B in here also. So we're gonna put this to the side. They sent some stainless steel skinny tumblers. Ooh, I want to drop it. Some stainless steel skinny tumblers, like a water bottle. That's for us to print on. They also send some travel mugs, a 2-pack of travel mugs. And these have their lids, the lids on it. Very nice. Y'all, they set me up. They sent a lot of things for me to try with this machine. I'm excited about this. You have some 3M tape. We also have another pack of mats. This is for the larger flatbed table. This is for the larger flatbed table. On the larger flatbed. Flatbed already. More stainless steel tumblers. I wonder if, so this is just a different shape. I wonder if they have like all of these in their store on their website. I'm gonna check it out because these are some very nice blanks. All right, we also have, okay, they sent me an iPhone case, 2 packs of, 2 cases, 2 4-packs of the iPhone 16. Actually 3 packs, or 3 cases of the 4-pack of iPhone 16. Either of them. We'll have to print something out on it. And then they also sent more canvases. You have more canvases for wall art. I think these are probably just the same as the other ones. If they're not, I'll show them. And then I also have more of the UV DTF film A. So not only can we do our regular UV printing, but we can also do UV DTF. So they sent me 2 different sizes, 1 size for the mini flatbed and 1 size for the large flatbed. All right, guys, so we have another box. All right, guys, so inside of this box, we have 2 parts to the machine, to the printer. It looks like we have the rotary attachment. We haven't opened that up. We're not going to open it up just yet. But this is the rotary attachment. So for any cylindrical items, really, 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 really nice. It's going to come in so much handy. All right, and the next thing we also have is a UV DTF laminating machine. So that is to be able to probably just lift that film up or place it so that it can stick. So this probably helps to provide that sticky adhesive on the back. And I think that's it for everything that we need to unbox. All right, y'all, so we're ready to test some things out. And the first thing we're going to test is this acrylic blank. It is a keychain, and you want to make sure you peel off the protective layer so that you can make sure that you're printing directly onto the actual blank. And that's what we're going to do now. We're going to test out a few more things, but let's see how this acrylic blank comes out. All right, guys, so it's done printing. And wow, that looks really good. It looks so good. To print, it took about 30 minutes just to print this, and it's probably the settings that I had it on. As you see some of the areas are a little raised. So if you're printing flat, I think it just prints a lot quicker. But if you want to do something like this where it's, you have certain areas that are raised a little bit, you will get, a longer print time. But y'all, this looks really good. Let's look at the back. Look at that white on that back. That looks awesome. So I can actually print something else out on this side if I want to. Maybe print some names, or maybe print like a nice quote or letter. But that looks so good. Those colors look amazing. The next thing we're going to try is this iPhone 16 case that I got from eufyMake, and we're literally going to just place it on top of the mini flatbed. Now with the software, I love that I can place it directly on top. The camera is super crisp, and I'm able to get a good idea of where I need to place everything. But right now it's going to go ahead and begin printing. I also like that it auto measures, so you don't have to guess. All the guesswork is out. This machine and the software works really easy. And y'all, look at this. So guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to remove that protective layer on top, so I had to reprint this again so that it could print directly onto the actual phone case, but it looks amazing. All right, guys, now we're going to remove the mini plate and put on the standard size plate. All right, guys, so we're going to place it in this way. It's going to be vertical, and you want to make sure that this part is on your left. We're going to bring it in, place it down, and as you guys see, that back part needs to be down too, so you need to make sure that you have enough space in the back. All right, so once we have it down, I'm going to lock it in place by sliding that glider over back to the right. So next up, we're going to print on this wood. This is a 12 by 16 canvas, and we're going to print directly onto this. We've already installed the larger or the standard flatbed, and this is going to go just like this. With this machine, the snapshot and the auto measure is super important to make sure that you get a good print and you don't damage your machine. So you always want to do that. Y'all, we are done with printing on this wooden canvas, and y'all, it looks so good. I didn't do any of the textured print on here, but y'all, it's dry. This took about 2 hours though, and this is a large size canvas, 12 by 16. It took 2 hours to print all of this, but y'all, it is so beautiful. Look at the detail. Look at the detail. I absolutely love this. So of course, had I put a background behind here, that of course would have taken a lot more time, but this took 2 hours, but I think it looks so beautiful. So beautiful. This is what it looks like. Oh, very nice. All right, guys, so next up, we're going to remove the standard flatbed and we're going to install the rotary attachment. And it's super easy to install the different parts to this machine. You literally just place it on top and you just lock it. Okay, you don't have to do a lot of unscrewing, or it's so easy, y'all. This is so easy. So right now I'm showing you how you would put a tumbler in with a handle. I am going to switch this out because I want to just go ahead and use UV DTF stickers for this. I haven't mastered getting the right settings for the tumblers with the handle, so we're going to just go ahead and use the UV DTF transfers. But as you guys see, the rotary attachment adjusts, and y'all, I absolutely love this. It's so easy to use. It's so beginner friendly. So right now I'm just going to test out printing on top of this tumbler. This is one of my tester tumblers that I use for various things, and it's going to print the image directly onto this tumbler before we move into another part of the machine. All right, it's all done. Let's see if it came out good. And honestly, y'all, so this was just a tester, but it came out really good. We're not paying attention to the other stuff that's engraved. We're just looking at it, and that actually came out really good. That looks great. Okay, y'all, so I reinstalled the standard flatbed, and now I'm just removing the protective sheet that's on top of the adhesive mat. So you want to make sure you do that. And now I'm placing the UV DTF film, this is film A, onto the mat, and I am going to remove the protective layer that's on top of there. Now this film A, is very sticky, so you don't necessarily want to touch it. So I prefer to place it onto the flatbed and then remove it off once it's nice and stuck to that flatbed. And so right now we're printing out some UV DTF prints to go onto some tumblers, and this did take quite a bit of time. Inside of the software you'll be able to change the settings so that you can get the best print out. However, it does take a little bit of time to print this out. Printing 12 of these might have taken a little bit less than 2 hours to get that done.
All right, guys, so we're all done with this, and I'm just going to be careful because the top part, this is very sticky, okay? So I'm just going to lift that up, and we're going to get ready to place this in the laminator. All right, so it looks good. All right, guys, so here's the laminating machine, and this is from eufyMake. We're just going to stick this in. I just got to be a little careful with how I place it in because it is sticky. If you look here, and that's the adhesive that's going to make this stick to your surfaces. All right, so it's already heated, and I'm going to get ready just to place this in right here. And it's applying a coat, the lamination coat, on top, not on bottom, not on the bottom, just on the top. And that's how we're going to be able to peel it off and place it onto our tumbler. All right, so once it's done, there is a slicer in the back, and I'm just going to cut it in the back with that. Look, it's coming through. All right, so it's all done, and I'm just going to slice it in the back. All right, and here we have our UV DTF stickers. One thing that I like to do is just brandish it down a little to make sure that when I get ready to lift this off of the lamination sheet, it all comes off smoothly.
All right, guys, so now we have our UV sticker, and we are simply just going to place this on this tumbler and customize it. Super easy, y'all. Super duper easy. Everything stayed just fine, and it looks amazing. I ended up having to make about 15 of these, and I love how these came out. All right, y'all, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I know you guys saw everything that I made with this machine, and there's so many more possibilities with this machine. I can't wait to pair it up with my laser and also print on top of it with my UV printer. I'm super excited about that. All right, y'all. So in addition to this machine being budget friendly, it is also user friendly. You don't have to have much experience with UV printing or designing for this printer. The software, you can use the software on either your phone, tablet, or you can use it on a computer. You can use it on a MacBook or a PC. And with a lot of these types of printers, you need to have a PC in order to use RIP software to print out your images. However, they took all of that out, and that's why I'm very impressed, because I feel like this company really thought out all of the different steps what everybody would need, and they made it super easy to get into this machine and to use it, to access UV printer in your own home. Now, one other area that I want to harp on, and I can't really expand on that much, but it looks like they prepared for it too. When you're using these types of printers and you're printing using white ink, sometimes you will get clogs in your ink channels, and that can be super problematic. That can cause you a lot of time. Now, they have a jet clean system that it's automatically cleaning the machine for you. There's jet clean cartridges that you can use along with this machine. Now, of course, a lot of these things you're going to have to continually purchase in order to keep your machine running. But I am very interested in seeing for the long haul how this is going to improve the lifespan and the quality of the machine. As of now, I haven't had any major issues. I've been using this machine for about a month now, and I have not had any clogging issues or anything like that. I've printed out quite a few things, and I have not had low ink. This printed out a lot, as you guys saw. When you're printing out items this size, it does take a little bit longer. This took about 2 hours for me to print all of this out, but it came out looking really good. This is something that I left on the printer, and I went and I did other things. So if you're looking to add UV printing to your business, it is something that you can do. This is an acrylic keychain that I use. Now, I want to cut out my own acrylic blanks or wood blanks and print on them myself. So that's why I want to incorporate my laser to use, and also use the 3D printer, and to see how that is gonna look. But y'all, this came out good. And look at these UV DTF stickers. I can't wait to put this onto something. The quality of the ink looks nice. The printouts look good. And I can't wait to use this so that way I can show you guys or tell you guys, come back and report again as far as the longevity of these items. Typically, UV printing lasts a very, 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 very long time. And I'm excited to see all of the different things that I can make with this. If you are interested in getting any more information about this printer, I will have a link listed below. Please click that link. Check out all of the additional details that you may find. Do even more research to see if this type of printer is something that you could possibly want to include into your own business or your craft room in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to head over to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and join the Craftable Things communities there as well. We would love to have you. But that's it for today, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.